Chunji, 19 moves, means literally the heaven, the earth. It is in the Orient, interpreted as the creation of the world or the beginning of human history. Therefore, it is the initial pattern played by the beginner. This pattern consists of two similar parts, one to represent the heaven and the other the earth. Dan Gun, 21 moves. Dan Gun is named after the holy Dan Gun, the legendary founder of Korea in the year of 2333 BC. Do San, 24 moves. Do San is the pseudonym of the patriot On Chang-ho, 1876 to 1938, who devoted his life to furthering the education of Korea and its independence movement. Wan Yo, 28 moves. Wan Yo was the noted monk who introduced Buddhism to the Silla dynasty in the year 686 AD. Yul Gok, 38 moves. Yul Gok is the pseudonym of a great philosopher and scholar E.E., 1536 to 1584, nicknamed the Confucius of Korea. The 38 movements of this pattern refer to his birthplace on the 38th degree latitude, and the diagram represents scholar. Jung Gun, 32 moves. Jung Gun is named after the patriot On Jung Gun who assassinated Hirobumi Ito, the first Japanese governor-general of Korea, known as the man who played the leading part in the Korea-Japan merger. There are 32 movements in this pattern to represent Mr. On's age when he was executed in a Louis Shun prison in 1910. Toi Gay, 37 moves. Toi Gay is the pen name of the noted scholar Yi Huang, 16th century, an authority on Neo-Confucianism. The 37 movements of the pattern refer to his birthplace on 37th degrees latitude. The diagram represents scholar. Hwarang, 29 moves. Hwarang is named after the Hwarang youth group, which originated in the Silla dynasty about 600 AD. This group eventually became the actual driving force for the unification of the three kingdoms of Korea. The 29 movements refer to the 29th Infantry Division, where Tae Kwon-Do developed into maturity. Chung Mu, 30 moves. Chung Mu was the name given to the great Admiral Yi Sun-sin of the Yi dynasty. He was reputed to have invented the first armored battleship, Kobuksun, in 1592, which is said to be the precursor of the present-day submarine. The reason why this pattern ends with a left-hand attack is to symbolize his regrettable death, having no chance to show his unrestrained potentiality checked by the forced reservation of his loyalty to the king. Gwangae, 39 moves. Gwangae is named after the famous Gwangae To Wang, the 19th king of the Goguryeo dynasty, who regained all the lost territories including the greater part of Manchuria. The diagram represents expansion and recovery of lost territory. The 39 movements refer to the first two figures of 391 AD, the year he came to the throne. Po-Uan, 36 moves. Po-Uan is the pseudonym of a loyal subject Chong Mongchu, 1400, who was a famous poet and whose poem "I would not serve a second master though I might be crucified 100 times, is known to every Korean. He was also a pioneer in the field of physics. The diagram represents his unerring loyalty to the king and country towards the end of the Goguryeo dynasty. Gay Baek, 44 moves. Gay Baek is named after Gay Baek, a great general in the Baekje dynasty, 660 AD. The diagram represents his severe and strict military discipline. Kodang, 39 moves. Kodang is the pseudonym of the patriot Cho Man-sik who dedicated his life to the independence movement and education of his people. The 39 movements signify his times of imprisonment and his birthplace on the 39th parallel. Ueam, 45 moves. Ueam is the pseudonym of Son Byung-hee, leader of the Korean independence movement on March 1, 1919. The 45 movements refer to his age when he changed the name Donghak, Oriental culture, to Chondo-kyo, Heavenly Way religion, in 1905. The diagram represents his indomitable spirit, displayed while dedicating himself to the prosperity of his nation. Chung Jang, 52 moves. Chung Jang is the pseudonym given to General Kim Duk Ryong who lived during the Yi dynasty, 14th century. This pattern ends with a left-hand attack to symbolize the tragedy of his death at 27 in prison before he was able to reach full maturity. Choi Yong. 46 moves. Choi Yong is named after General Choi Yong, Premier and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces during the 14th century Koryo dynasty. Choi Yong was greatly respected for his loyalty, patriotism, and humility. He was executed by his subordinate commanders headed by General Yi Sung-gae, who later became the first king of the Yi dynasty. Samil. 33 moves. Samil denotes the historical date of the independence movement of Korea, which began throughout the country on March 1, 1919. The 33 movements in the pattern stand for the 33 patriots who planned the movement. Yushin. 68 moves. Yushin is named after General Kim Yushin, a commanding general during the Silla dynasty. The 68 movements refer to the last two figures of 668 AD, the year Korea was united. The ready posture signifies a sword drawn on the right rather than left side, symbolizing Yushin's mistake of following his king's orders to fight with foreign forces against his own nation. Tong-il. 56 moves. Tong-il denotes the resolution of the unification of Korea, which has been divided since 1945. The diagram symbolizes the homogeneous race. Ulji. 42 moves. Ulji is named after General Ulji Moon-dok, who successfully defended Korea against a Tang's invasion force of nearly 1 million soldiers led by Yang Jae in 612 AD. Ulji, employing hit-and-run guerrilla tactics, was able to decimate a large percentage of the force. The diagram represents his surname.